Well, today on the AWC podcast, we're talking about an article ripped from the headlines of the American Window Cleaner magazine. Well, today we're talking about an article written by Chris Cartwright. If you don't know who he has been in the industry for quite a long time. He's a great journalist. Really, really smart guy. You guys have a lot to learn, or at least spend some time listening to what he has to say. But this comes out of issue 213. That is the January 2021 issue of the American Window Cleaner magazine. If you're not getting it already to your house, make sure to subscribe. Not only are you getting the paper version, but you'll get all of the content and, of course, a sticker sheet that comes with it. So, super awesome. Definitely take a look at that. But in the article, The Future of Window Cleaning, he talks about 2020 being finally over, saying it was a heck of a year with wildfires, Rona, the election, the economy and lockdowns, even murder hornets. Do you guys remember murder hornets? That was going to be a thing, but I think Mother Nature said, hey, you guys are taking it enough. But in this whole thing, there's a few lessons that he talks about. And he says, you take it serious or not, nobody saw COVID coming. Nobody saw the crisis coming. That's really, really interesting when you think about no matter how much planning we did, you can't predict a pandemic. You can't predict the entire world shutting down because it's never happened. It's never happened. So a lot of us got caught with our pants down, to say. Now, there's a couple of nice things that happened with the way that everything happened. And by the way, if you're listening to this now, I hope you're doing amazing. And I know you are. You're still investing in your company. You're investing in your knowledge, right? But there's something to be said for all of this. Now, this happened to really hit hard in spring, pre-spring even, March, February. A lot of us weren't getting back to work yet. So we were still sitting on our winter reserves. And this is the part that is the most amazing about this, is that there was less people having crappy years than there were people having great years. I've heard from more people now saying, hey, this is the best year my company has ever had, than anybody saying that, I went out of business. It's super, super impressive for everybody who went through this. If you could succeed through something like this, you can succeed really in anything. And Chris goes on to say, he says, however, things don't always go according to plan. Having a nice financial buffer for emergencies is a major big boy step for any business owner. But you can't always count on a beautiful early spring. And isn't that the truth? A lot of the time, we put everything into one basket, and companies go, hey, you know what? Spring is going to happen in March, in April, whenever it happens. So I can go ahead and tap a little bit closer than I need to, and even maybe borrow to get through that last little bit. And wham, you get COVID. You have something come in where all of a sudden we become essential, right? You have something happen where now all of a sudden you have to scramble to figure out what is going on. You have to pivot, which the word I hate is pivot. It's used too many times this year, but it's a big one. Chris says that you have to have a contingency plan, right? Like most small business owners, he actually went a little bit crazy when everything happened. It goes on to kind of talk about a story, which is pretty darn amazing. But a lot of us did. A lot of us went a little bit berserk. There's another podcast out there. I won't mention any names, but the gentleman that does the podcast was having a heck of a year. He was taking it extremely hard. And that really sucks. When you see somebody hurting like that, it really, really hits you home. And you really want to do something to help them. But at that point, it's not that the business is going to fail. It's just that the exact time is a little bit too much. Now remember, as a business owner, a lot of us are bald, a lot of us are gray-haired, right? We've earned that. In small business, there is nothing on the planet that puts you through the ringer like a small business owner. You have good times? Yeah, the good times are great. How many of us who are listening to this right now have had amazing vacations, all paid for because we clean stuff, right? How many kids has window cleaning, pressure washing, roof cleaning, all those things? How many kids have gone through Little League, have gone through ballet, right? It's produced a lot of amazing highs. In fact, I got to go through and be at every single doctor appointment ever with my wife when we were having kids. I got to go through and never miss an assembly, never miss an award ceremony. That's pretty stinking amazing. That's what a lot of us get into business for. But as this all kind of happens, there are just as many downfalls. And this is one of those where a lot of us, we take it on the chin. It's not something that we try to, avoid because we know it's going to happen. We just try to pull out of it sooner and with less collateral damage than anybody else. But having this all hit when it did, you guys, you made it through. It's 2021. Even if everything is a little bit still down as far as wearing masks and things like that, we did go through. One thing he talks about is that, are we actually an essential business? Is what we do considered essential? Now, a lot of us are sitting there going, well, yes, I essentially need to make money to pay for my life. I need to pay for my family. I need to make money to be able to eat. But are we essential? This is something that's pretty interesting. An essential worker out there means you cannot live without them. Now, my job is to clean bird poop off windows, let's be honest. That's kind of what we do. We're a luxury business. No one dies if we can't do our jobs. No one can't survive because we weren't there. So something to be said that makes this whole thing a little bit out there is that the services we were performing, in essence, could be rolled into essential. I wouldn't consider us essential per se, but it is something, it's the reason we got to work. It's the reason we got to work, is being that we were essential. A big thing to get out of this entire experience, is that we need to increase our marketing game. He says, nonetheless, 2021 looks like it's going to be the year of the crowded market. The year of the crowded market. This right there is one of two possibilities that could have happened with all of this. When this all started, there was two possibilities, and it was that others wouldn't make it, which makes your market share skyrocket, right? You can have a bigger business if there's not other people around you. But what happened is, in a business like ours, which is a low cost of entry business, you had a lot of people go, hey, I worked for a bank for 10 years. I got to let go. We can't do banking, right? The computers do it all. People can't see us. I can't go in. You can't go into a location and talk to anybody. I am out of a job, but I need to do something. What's a low cost of entry job that I can get in and make some money? People stumble across window cleaning. Now, I know, with all of you listening, I know what we do takes skill. It does. It takes skill. Not everybody can do it. Hand somebody a squeegee for the first time. Say, hey, go clean that window. It is going to look absolutely awful. I know that and you know that. But the thing is that all of us started not knowing what we were doing. All of us started not being window cleaners, but got into window cleaning. And that's what's happening now. Nonetheless, 2021 looks like it's going to be the year of the crowded market. And you need to protect your brand and bank account. Now, this article that I'm reading, again, from the American Window Cleaner magazine, this is the January 2021 issue. Chris really goes in and explains something that is on our radar but hasn't really been brought up. And that is that there are people who are just doing what we're doing to make a couple bucks, make it through the hard times, and feed their family. But do not underestimate the people who are coming into our market, your market, my market. They're coming in and they are smart. They know what they're doing or they're figuring it out. Maybe they have more hustle than you have. Maybe they have more drive than you have in the current season. Now, this is the big thing, is that no matter what they know, newbie, veteran, maybe they cleaned windows for 20 years, got out of the game 10 years ago and got back in it. If somebody knows how to run a business, they will run a business. That's the fact. So coming out of all this, moving into the new year of 2021, what we need to do is focus on where we are. What are we doing to better ourselves? What are we doing to blow it up? We have to figure this out. We have to figure it out and plan it. Because there are guys out there who are going to take market share from you. They're going to be brand new. They maybe are not in the market for very long. Maybe they don't know window cleaning. Maybe you can't talk to a client and say, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years. Maybe you're a new guy. I've talked to, I can't tell you how many people who have said, hey, I've been in business now for 2 months before this all hit. 2 months before the lockdown happened. Man, you're going to be extremely strong. You'll be able to get through anything. I particularly went through 2008 with my business, which was a market crash, but I actually started right before that all happened. So I'm a new business. Everything's crashing. Businesses are crumbling. People are losing everything. But the big thing is I didn't know. I didn't know enough to know enough. And that's what a lot of these are going to be. But what we need to do is be strong. We need to up our marketing game. We need to regain our market share from the new people. People left, yes. People didn't stay in the market. I understand that. I know people personally who had a window cleaning company and decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to work for somebody else because it's guaranteed. Obviously, that's not you and it's not me. But people are out there. Now what we have to compete with is the new herd, the new market, the new entrepreneur. Somebody who maybe was too scared to take the first leap, too scared to kind of take that first jump, which is the hardest part. You know that, I know that. Now they're in the game. They're in your waters. They're in your neighborhoods. They're hungry. They say, I got to make this work. I saw the potential, right? We all had a great summer. Most of us, I'm sorry if you didn't, but we all had a lot of prosperity. But the big thing about it is, so did they. If they got a taste of money, right? If the sharks swimming around you taste blood in the water, they have a hunger for it. The people who are around you that are new, that you didn't want to worry about, or maybe you aren't worried about, you should be worried about them. Not to the point that things aren't going to happen. You just need to be vigilant, and you need to make sure that your marketing game is on the up and up. So hopefully 2021 is going to be amazing for you. This is the first AWC podcast in the new format. And again, we're talking about an article out of the January 2021 issue. If you haven't checked it out yet, go to awcmag.com/subscribe. Get yourself your subscription. It's a monthly magazine now. Extra pages in every issue, new paper, new feel. You have stickers in every one, and a lot of information to learn. So thanks a lot for listening. We'll talk to you again.